Hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Fox 19 now, First Alert Meteorologist Brad Maushart here with a check of what looks to be another busy day. Yes, today is another First Alert weather day here in the Tri-State. The ingredients still had some left over from yesterday. We have a storm system that wants to stall out over the Ohio Valley. Everything coming together to create another threat for severe storms today. We also have plenty of sunshine out there. That's also leading to those increased chances for some stronger storms. This morning we didn't see anything. Again, a lot of sunshine outside. We had a clearer start to the day than what we saw outside yesterday. And that is going to lead to likely a better chance even than what we saw yesterday for severe storms. I know yesterday we weren't thinking there was going to be much today other than some garden variety stuff, but that has changed as the weather does sometimes. So working our way through now through about 1 o'clock. You still have a little bit of time to get outside, get some outdoor chores taken care of. But the closer we get to 1 o'clock, and especially between 1 to 3, that's where storms will start to pop up across the area. Some of those storms could be on the strong side. Severe. I think our best window today, I have it written down, is going to be between about starting around 4 o'clock and then lasting through about 9 to 10 o'clock tonight. And then things are going to fade off pretty quickly into the overnight. So when it comes to severe weather windows, about 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That's your best chance to see some stronger storms outside today. So try to take advantage of a little bit of a lull in the action over at Turfway. We have a new time lapse there in Turfway. You can see some planes there in the background. Some fair weather clouds this morning. And a little bit of horse activity happening at Turfway Park ahead of Big Derby weekend just down the river at Churchill Downs. Again, these horses just warming up, having a nice little morning run before temperatures get too warm outside and before the storms start to fire up. We're up to 71 degrees over at the International Airport. At last check, the clouds are starting to thicken, and this is what we have to get through today. Most of the Tri-State, at least under a marginal risk, the exceptions being just a sliver there of Decatur County, sliver of Fayette County, and that's about it. Everybody else has at least a chance to see some severe storms today. Even though you're in the marginal risk and the greatest threats are going to be around in southeast of downtown, around 71 and southeastward, not a zero threat up to the northwest for our southeastern Indiana communities or Butler County. We are going to see, and you're definitely not going to be rain-free. I think just about everybody sees some storms today. It's just that the better ingredients for these storms to come together are going to be around and southeast of downtown today. That's where in the yellow shaded area we do have a slight risk in play there. And then just our southernmost communities, just the southern halves there, little slivers of Owen, Grant, Pendleton, Bracken, Mason, Robinson, and Lewis counties. Took me a second there. I had to try to remember everybody. I think I got them all. Those counties, it's like a test every time I get back up here. That is an enhanced risk, a 3 out of 5 for severe weather. This is the same threat level we had Tuesday. Yesterday was a slight risk. Tuesday we had that enhanced risk. So what that means essentially is that doesn't mean that storm threats are going to be any lesser or greater. It just means that you're likely to see more widespread severe weather outside. So that's what we're expecting a little bit further south where those ingredients are a little bit better put together. We have some warnings already in southwestern Kentucky, as close to us as about the Bowling Green area, just southwest of Bowling Green, south of Paducah rather. A watch, that yellow box you see on the screen, that watch lasts until later on this evening. Does not include any of the Tri-State down here. This only comes up just to about Bowling Green, and that's it. So Louisville not under watch just yet, Lexington not under watch, and none of the Tri-State just yet under that severe thunderstorm watch. However, with the ingredients in place, don't be surprised if that watch gets extended to the north and the east as we work our way through the next couple of hours. Because, as I've mentioned, the ingredients are there. And we're seeing a lot of sunshine, too, down to the south. Look at all the breaks in the clouds down here where those tornado ingredients, or severe weather ingredients are in place. All threats possible today: tornadoes, severe thunderstorm, wind gusts. That's probably the primary threat is going to be the wind gust. Obviously, a lot of lightning, so be safe out there because the clouds are already bubbling up across the area. When you start to see those little cotton balls showing up on the satellite imagery, you know that the ingredients are there and clouds are starting to grow. Before storms arrive today, most of us are going to get up into the mid to upper 70s outside. That's thunderstorm fuel. You can see this particular model trying to hint at some rain showers developing here across our southernmost communities to squash those highs by 5 o'clock. But either way, I think we still make it there. Oh, the Reds. Okay, so the Reds have been battling all week. They battled the Cardinals. We battled the rain chances. We've had a chance just about each and every day. Tonight, a big night. The Washington Nationals are here for a 3-game series tonight, Saturday, Sunday. It's also a fireworks Friday. Mother Nature going to have some fireworks of her own. She's going to try. I don't think this game gets rained out. I just don't. I'm Cincinnati optimistic that by later on tonight we will dry out. However, if you have tickets to this game, the first pitch is at 6:10. That's when it's scheduled. That is when our storm chances will be at their highest. And I'll show you here one of our high-resolution models after this. That we have our best chances to see those strong storms by about 6, 7, 8 o'clock here downtown. I believe, this is my intuition, that later on tonight, about 8, 9 o'clock, we'll start that game. It might be a late start. The fireworks will probably be later than normal. Just be aware of that. If you're taking the kids down for Fireworks Friday, you might be downtown longer than you think. Just because I do think we're going to have to contend with some weather out there. So here's the next couple of hours. By 2 to 3 o'clock, storms start to pop up across the area. It's not too widespread, still plenty of dry time into the early afternoon. However, as we work our way closer to 5, 6, 7, 6:10 first pitch, that's what we're dealing with outside. Those storms will start to roll on in. They'll be fairly widespread at first, but by 8 to 9 o'clock, we will start to lose that daytime heating. Storm chances will go down. Note down here to the south, even though everybody's seeing rain, this is where we have the opportunity to see the strongest storms later on tonight. So in the time frame wise, I'm just going to go ahead and casually stop this in the middle of the recording here. And go back a little bit. We'll go back in time. So there's 6, 7 o'clock, 8, 9, and that is where the threat starts to ramp up. So around sunset down to the south and into the evening hours, late evening hours, 8, 9, 10 o'clock before that big swath of rain starts to sweep on out. So that takes us to 11 o'clock, and that's when most of the tri-state will dry out. So if you have the late Friday plans, things look good. Don't cancel the plans. If you have Reds tickets, don't cancel your plans to go, but just be aware you might be sitting around for a while, either at the ballpark or maybe outside before that game might get underway if the rain does come in right at about 6 o'clock, which it is anticipated to do. Later on through the overnight hours, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, we're going to go through Saturday here. You can see by the time we hit early Saturday morning a dry start, but don't be fooled. If you have derby plans in the tri-state tomorrow, make some plans inside, because here's what happens as we work our way into the day. 6, 7, 8 o'clock, nice to go out and get some morning exercise in. Maybe you want to get one last little bit of exercise in before the marathon Sunday, or you have one of the early Saturday races. I'm not exactly sure what the Saturday schedule looks like. I haven't looked that much. I just know that Sunday's the big race. However, if you have the Saturday stuff, earlier the better, because as you work our way through the later morning hours, rain will start to push in from the south. Most areas around and south of the river will get wet as early, by at least probably 10 o'clock. And then we're going to hang on to rain chances through the day. That's 12 o'clock. Most of the tri-state wet by then. And it's going to be on and off, light to moderate showers through much of the day. Most areas are going to pick up about an inch of rainfall tomorrow. That's the latest guesstimates on our Saturday rain. However, 6:30. If you do have plans, let's say, to go down to Churchill Downs tomorrow for the big race, take a look down there by Louisville. Things are going to dry out a little bit down that way, and I do think by the time for the big race, the track is going to be sloppy. If you're looking to make a bet, I'm not a horse expert, but I would probably go with some horses that have run in some mud this year. That would be my best get. Don't take my word for it, because I know nothing about horse racing. I'm really bad at guessing horses. But take one that's going to run good in the mud, because it's going to be a sloppy track. Even though we dry out a little closer to race time, that track all day is going to be a mess, because they're going to see that rain on and off just like we are up until about 3 o'clock. And that's when they're going to start to dry back out per this high-resolution model into the evening. Here, however, I guess the tri-state is just going to be a mess. Messy Saturday. But here's some good news. It's been bad news, Brad, just about all week long. Here we go into Sunday morning. Even though this lousy low is just going to sit over top as it kind of spin the next couple of days, Sunday morning, just in time for the race. Let's hop back to 6 o'clock. Can't rule out some lingering drizzle. There might be some puddles outside, across the track tomorrow. And by the track, I mean downtown and everywhere else you're going to be running Sunday for the race. It does look like we dry out. And then by 7, 8, 9 o'clock, if you're a fast runner, you can avoid most of the rain chances. Looks like by Sunday afternoon, some of those rain chances will try to slide back in. But a lot of dry time early Sunday again for the race. Certainly no severe weather this weekend. I know tomorrow maybe a couple rumbles of thunder mixing in for your Saturday, but it's just going to be wet Saturday. That's mostly the big issue out there. Some standing water, some localized flooding, not out of the question. Sunday, garden variety stuff, a few showers, likely no lightning either, so the race does look good. Estimated rainfall, again, it's kind of a mess. Not a ton outside through the night tonight. I mean, there are going to be some potent storms. You can certainly see some areas that pick up an inch or two quickly, but that's going to be very localized to those stronger storms. Working our way through the rest of Saturday, you can see how those totals really start to climb, especially around and southeast of downtown. Some areas could pick up over 2 to 3 inches of rain, especially if you see one of those more intense downpours tonight and then see that continuous rain on Saturday. So watch out for the localized flooding into the second half of the weekend. Not going to have any big impacts likely on the Ohio River, but you can see it's going to be kind of messy out there. Here's the horse race. Here's where we are. About halfway through the day tomorrow, Rainy Rick takes the early lead. All right, if we're putting this into horse racing terms, a little different way of explaining it. The Kentucky Derby gets off to a mild and also stormy start out there. Rainy Rick takes the early lead. And then the camera, for whatever reason, the camera disappears. And somewhere in between there, between Rainy Rick in the morning and the actual race itself, you will see Cloudy Clyde comes up at the end for the big win this year, the 151st Kentucky Derby. Cloudy Clyde the winner. I know it's going to be really lousy most of the day, the first half of the day, but as close as we get to 6 o'clock, down in Churchill Downs, down near Louisville, it will be drying out. I'm putting my money on that forecast. Cloudy Clyde for the win. Yesterday was sunny skies. I've changed my mind. Cloudy Clyde takes it today. I don't think Rainy Rick, maybe a close second you can see there, but I think Cloudy Clyde is going to win it this year. Flying Pig, good news for this. Again, early in the morning, there could be a lingering shower or two. I don't know why this is showing rain icons because I thought I cleared those out. It's all right. And temperature is about 59 degrees by later on in the morning hours. I think I still have these overridden from the other day. Maybe I can change this on the fly for you really quick. Let's change that. Oh, I probably have the wrong date in there. It's all right. Just take my word for it. Sunday morning looks good. I don't have time to change it on the fly. Sorry about that. Are you sure you want to cancel? Yes, I do. Let's just hop to the 7-day. This will give you a better idea of what's going on the next couple of days. So again, today, a first alert weather day. Please have ways to get warnings. I'm going to hop on Facebook here in a second and take a look at some of the comments against my better judgment. We're going to wade through 7 days in Cincinnati. This storm system just kind of sits over top of us next week, and it's going to give us a chance for some showers each day. Not necessarily any strong storms or anything, but enough to be a nuisance for Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, looks like we catch a little bit of a break, but Thursday, the shower chances return, and that storm system will help to effectively sweep the rain out as we work our way into the day Friday. So Friday, a few clouds drying back out by this time next week and remaining seasonable, if not, a little bit below normal, mid-60s outside, but just a mess of a Saturday. Lingering showers outside, not a great day for the outdoor plans, and sorry about that. Sunday, spotty showers are there, but it does look to be dry for the morning hours. Things pick up a little bit in the afternoon, and then just continued shower chance much of next week. So let's see here. Will it help if clouds remain? Hold on, let's go back through here. Enough rain. I agree, Leah. It is a mess. This is the third first alert weather day this week, third severe weather chance, and it looks to be a little bit worse than what we saw outside yesterday. More similar probably to Tuesday, where we had 50 reports of severe weather damage across the area, some wind damage across the area. If clouds remain and the sun doesn't shine as much, yeah, it'll help. Heat is a big driver for severe weather in our area this time of the year. That's why late tonight after the sun sets at 8:32, and that sun will be going down, the severe weather chances will fade off just a bit. So that is good news if it does remain overcast. However, there's some peaks of sunshine, and I think last check, it's already 72 at the airport. We have another couple hours of heating to go, so I have a feeling it's not going to make much of a difference, but yeah, it would certainly help if there were thicker clouds like what we saw outside yesterday. All day Saturday. Yeah, we'll hop back to this real quick. I did answer it before, but we will hop back in just to show everybody a recap in case anybody's hopping on late here. This is the latest high-resolution model guidance for today, bringing in storms by 3 to 4 o'clock, spotty at first, more widespread into the evening. There's also a question, I think, in here about the Reds game. I'm not 100% sure. Reds game tomorrow. The Reds can't catch a break this week. We'll talk about Saturday, too. Reds game tonight. It is Fireworks Friday outside. Don't be surprised. That's all I'll say. Don't be caught off guard if the game starts late. First pitch is scheduled for 6:10. Don't be surprised as I try to log into Facebook here and check some other comments. Let's see here. live feed. Let me hop onto my page. Don't be surprised if we have a late pitch. 6:10 is a scheduled start time. Rain is going to be pushing in at that time. Obviously, rain, lightning, can't play in that. But also don't be surprised if you get the game in. I do think that happens. It might just be later on tonight. 7, 8, 9 o'clock, we should start to see some clearing across the area. This is all subject to change. Just be flexible with the plans because it's really hard to pin down exact timing of storms. Generally, the storm chances will be good this evening, but the later we get in the night, once that sun sets, the better the weather will be. Be flexible, especially I know it's Fireworks Friday. There's going to be a ton of kids down there. With schools starting to wrap up soon or whatnot, college, universities getting out soon. If you're headed to the game, don't be surprised if those fireworks are a little later than they normally would be with the rain outside. Just keep flexible plans. Working our way into Saturday. Saturday early looks nice. If the Reds were having a first pitch at 7 a.m., it would be great. They won't do that, but if they were, it'd be great because it looks to be, kind of a mess outside. Don't be surprised with how this looks. Again, be flexible, that you might go on Sunday instead. Can't rule out they get that game in later in the evening. Again, the later we get in the day, the drier it'll be, but it does look better on Sunday. That would obviously be a mess trying to get people down for a doubleheader on Sunday because we have the Flying Pig happening down there. We have those plans all weekend, so be prepared for downtown to be a little busier, too, if you're heading downtown with a lot of people in for that game. Let's hop on here. Let's see what we're dealing with. Turn the volume down so I don't hear myself. Thank you, Lily. Have a nice day. Hopefully you can avoid most of the storms. Saturday, Robert, hopefully that answers your question. Hello, Tom. Good to see you. We're going to wrap things up here in a few minutes because I'm going to try for the first time this week to sneak out and get a lunch because I didn't pack it because I have not learned my lesson since Tuesday. I really don't want to have to go eat out of the vending machine for the third time this week. So going to try to get some lunch, and we'll wrap it up a little early before these storms start to pop into the afternoon. All right, let's see if I can just change this. Maybe I want all. Protected, discussion, comment module. Oh, boy. It's been a while since I've gotten on here. They've changed some things on the comments section. Maybe not. That's all right. Sunday, that's a good question. Thank you for showing that question or asking that question. You can see here, by the time we hit Saturday, still fairly widespread rain, but the later we get in Saturday and into Sunday, especially early, it does look pretty dry, so it does not look like a washout for the Flying Pig. There will be puddles around, likely some soggy ground out there if you're spectating, so be prepared for that. If you're sitting in the front yard, wear some appropriate shoes. But it does look like we'll see some dry time early Sunday. Later we get in the day, the showers return, but they're not going to be anything like what we're seeing outside today with strong storms or anything. Yeah, if you're going to the zoo, one, prepare for traffic and some closures out there. You're going to have to probably reroute around some areas depending on what part of town you're coming through, just with the race still going on. But yeah, I'm not expecting any lightning or thunder on Sunday. It just looks to be the garden variety stuff by the second half of the weekend. So thank you for the questions. Hopefully you can avoid most of the fun today. And by fun, I mean most of the storms today. Going to be a little messy out there. Stay tuned. Steve will be in here soon. We'll both be working, into the evening to keep you guys up to date on what's happening out there. Any warnings get issued. Again, at last check, let me hop back over to this. This is what we have going on currently. So not model data. This is actual current data happening right now across the area. The closest warnings to us are southeast of Paducah. The closest watch is still well south of 64. It's down near Bowling Green. However, we'll keep an eye to see if that gets extended north and eastward as we work way through the next couple of hours. With how things have gone this week, I would not be surprised to see that happen. It probably will not happen at its earliest, probably until about 3 o'clock or so this afternoon. Probably more towards 4 to 5. We'll see what happens with that. We'll keep you updated. I'll be back on air at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Steve takes over at 5 o'clock. We'll still be here both together into the evening hours. Erin also here. She's working on a story and behind the scenes, but she will also be here to help you stay up to date. It is a Fox 19 Now First Alert Weather Day on a Friday because weather just did not want me to go home at 5 o'clock on a Friday. So enjoy your day. Be safe out there. And again, watch out for the bumpy weather. Have a way to stay up to date on that today. Have a good one, everyone.